morning! Welcome back to another reading vlog. Today is Friday the 23rd of September, which feels bonkers. Where did September go? I feel like it was just the 10th or something. Maybe it's because I was on vacation. I don't know. Today I am flying one leg from Phoenix to Indianapolis, where I'm gonna meet up with my best friend, so I'm very excited. And yeah, I think we're just gonna get coffee or something. But I am just starting to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I know was like insanely popular like 2 years ago. I never read it. It's not that I didn't like buy into the hype. I just like, it didn't sound like something I'd love. It's so long, and I feel like by a certain point it did get kind of overhyped, and I was like, I don't care. Oh gosh. I had the microphone facing the wrong way. So hopefully that sounds better now. Yeah, so I am just starting the audiobook. Lately, I've been listening to audiobooks a lot while I just like play games on my phone. I've been becoming a real Candy Crush master. I really have been enjoying consuming books in that way. I don't know why. I haven't really felt like reading with my eyes lately, but it doesn't matter because audiobooks are reading too. So I just started it. I think I'm only on like chapter 6, but I really like the way it's written. Julie Whalen is the narrator, and she's one of my favorite audiobook narrators, so I could just listen to her voice forever. I think that's about all I have to say now. I will probably check in tomorrow or later today, hoping to be able to listen to a little more of it later, depending on when I get back to my hotel from seeing my friend, but we'll see. Hello again. So I just got back from having some happy hour, I guess. We didn't really have dinner with my best friend Brittany, and I'm now in my room, just took a shower, and I really wanted to do more reading tonight, but I have to do this quarterly training for work that we have to do every quarter, as you might have gathered, on the computer. I mean, it shouldn't take too long, but I do have an early sign-in tomorrow. Our van is at 6:30, so I will not be staying up too late because your girl's tired. So I can't figure out how to see what percentage on Audible I am through Addie LaRue. So I actually have Libro FM and Audible subscriptions. I don't like using Audible as much, but sometimes there's like the Audible exclusives, which I think are stupid, but that's why I keep that account open. But I also have Libro. But it's so weird. Like, there's nowhere to see if, like, how far along in an audiobook you are on Audible. Unless I'm really dumb. If you know, please tell me, because it's frustrating. I like to keep track of that stuff. I like to know how much progress I'm making. It's a long audiobook, too. It's like 18, 17 hours. So I, really want to know how far I've gotten. Not very far. It's really good. I really enjoy the writing. I haven't read anything by Victoria Schwab, so because I don't really read fantasy, and that's, I think, what she mainly writes. I guess this is kind of a fantasy, well, magical realism sort of thing. I don't know. But I am liking it a lot. I like the way it's written. I like the narrating. I like her French accent. And yeah, it's good so far. I know I'm like the last person to read this, so you're probably like, yeah, Laura, we know it's good. You're the one who didn't know. But basically, yeah, I'm having a good time with it. So yeah, I'm gonna go do my computer stuff, unfortunately. And then hopefully get in a little bit of reading before bed. And tomorrow's go home day. Woohoo, we love that. Tomorrow's a long day. We go from Indianapolis to Phoenix, and then Phoenix to Philly. So that will be a day. I think we're on duty for like 11 or 12 hours. So not super excited about that, but I am excited that when I get home, I have 2 days off. So gonna go do my stuff now, and I will check in when I have more to update on. So I'm finally home from work. That was such a long day. I am exhausted. I think I mentioned it in a previous clip, but I had to fly from Indianapolis to Phoenix and then Phoenix to Philadelphia. It was like a 12-hour duty day. So I got up at like 5 o'clock this morning. So I'm just really tired. It's currently 7:15. So I'm just tired. Didn't sleep well the past 2 nights, and then last night I think I slept too well because I did not want to get up this morning, and I'm usually pretty good at waking up. Like, usually once I'm out of bed, I'm fine. After like a cup of coffee, I'm great, but today I just like could not wake up. Anyways, I have listened to a little bit more of Addie LaRue, and I am really enjoying it. I feel like most people know what it's about, but I realized that in my previous clip, I never actually gave any background. So it's essentially about this woman, teenager, in the 1600s in France, and she is supposed to marry this guy that she's like got no interest in marrying, and I want to say he is a widower with young children and is basically trying to replace his wife that died. And on the day of her wedding, she like runs away, leaves him at the altar. She ends up making a deal with these like dark gods where she will like live forever, and whenever she dies, her soul like belongs to them. But what he didn't tell her was that she will never be able to be remembered by anyone that she meets. So like, as soon as she does this, she goes back to her house, and her mom is like freaking out and like throws her out because she doesn't recognize her. She doesn't know who she is. And this happens like several times. And so it like flashes back and forward between when this first started to happen and like the years following, and then like present day, but I think it was like 2014 is when it's set. And I just got to a part. This might be a little bit spoilery if you haven't read it, but I feel like we knew this was... I feel like it's on the back, the thing I'm about to say. She's in New York in 300 years later, so 2014, yes. And she goes into this bookshop, and just a side note, she kind of gets by like stealing stuff, and then she doesn't, she just like steals stuff, but nobody can catch her because they don't remember who she is. So that's kind of how she's gotten by, and like she can't get an apartment or anything because they'll rent her an apartment, and a landlord would like not remember that he like rented an apartment to her. So she basically like has a lot of like one night stands, or at least one night things where she can find a place to spend the night, and then she'll like make a copy of the key or something, so she'll like know when they're not there and she can just go hang out. So she had stolen a book from a bookstore, like a used book, and when she'd gotten outside, the worker at the store was like, "Yo, you just stole that book." And she's like, "What? I'm getting caught." So but he's like, "You can just have it." It was a copy of the Odyssey written in Greek, so like ancient Greek. So he's like, "You can just have it. It's fine." And so a couple days later, she's like read it. She comes back to the bookstore and is like, "My friends bought this for me, but I already have it. Can I return it for something else?" And the guy's like, "Are you kidding me? You stole that, and I saw you with it the other day." And she's like, "What?" Because he's the first person that remembers her ever. So that's kind of where I am, and they're sort of getting to know each other a little bit because she's like absolutely floored. So I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I'm probably going to listen to the audiobook and like play my little Candy Crush because I'm like kind of too tired to have my eyes focusing on lines on a page. So that's probably going to be the rest of my evening. Side note, If you like pumpkin, you need to get these from Trader Joe's. They are pumpkin spice teeny tiny pretzels, and they are absolutely phenomenal. I'm not a super like pumpkin-y kind of person. I do get a little basic this time of year with it, but they're so good. And you only need like 2 and you're like satisfied. So that is my little PSA about the pumpkin spice pretzels from Trader Joe's. Okay, I'm gonna go have the rest of my evening, and I will update tomorrow probably. I have book club tomorrow, and then I'm hoping to just relax the rest of the day on the couch. Might be a little bit rainy here in Philly, so I would love that. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow. So it is now Monday the 26th. I didn't get on here and make any updates yesterday. I had book club and I got a little tipsy, so I didn't get a ton of reading done, but I did finish The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue this morning, and it was so good. I didn't expect it to end the way it did. I don't want to like make this like too spoilery, but I was kind of weirded out a lot of the time with Addie's relationship with Luke, because like he's like the actual devil, and she's like having a sort of relationship with him a little bit. I mean, I get that it's one of those things where she basically like loves him by default, I think, because he's the only one that remembers her, that knows her for so many years, like 300 years. But I don't know, it just still felt kind of weird. I was like, he's the devil, like he's not even a human. But I love Henry. He's such a little angel baby. And yeah, it had a great ending. I can't believe how fast I was able to read that, because it is like 500 pages. But I listened to the audiobook and I just like plowed through. Ruby! Ruby! Hey! My cat is terrible. If anybody wants a cat, you can have her. So I think that this was a fantastic book. I understand the hype now. I would still give it 5 stars, even with my like one little gripe, but that was just like, I don't understand why she loves Luke so much. Loved the audiobook. The narrator was fantastic. She does a brilliant job. So I did start another audiobook today, and it is Mercury Pictures Presents. So I got this as an add-on from Book of the Month a few months ago, and I've been sort of intimidated by it because this is a really big book too. It's like 400 and something pages. So, you know, it's always just like a little intimidating to start a book that long, because you know it's like going to take me a while to read. But then I decided I had a Libro FM credit, so I was like, I'll just get the audiobook and like read a little in the book, read a little in my ear. And I think I'm about 10% through, so like not too far, but it is really good. It is about a woman who works at a movie studio in Hollywood in the 1940s, and she is an Italian immigrant, but she's become basically an executive, like one of the only female executives in this studio, Mercury Pictures. And it takes place right around World War II, and just kind of like how the movie industry was like impacted by World War II and the influx of immigrants on them trying to make it in Hollywood. And it's really interesting so far. It's not something I've ever read a book on, like even close. So I'm really excited to keep reading it. It seems really good, and the audiobook narrator is again really good. I actually can't remember who it is, but yeah, really good. Ruby, my cat is so bad. I don't know why I keep her. So I am off on a trip tomorrow. My trip takes me to Salt Lake City tomorrow night, and then the next night I will be in Sacramento, and then I will be home. So I've never been to Sacramento. I've been to Salt Lake City a few times. It's not my favorite city, but I'm hoping that I'll find something to do because they have quite a while there. There is a used bookstore that I have been to before there that I do like a lot. So maybe I'll go down and see that, see if they have anything good. But yeah, so I will update later with more about Mercury Pictures Presents. But if you haven't read Addie LaRue, Don't be like me. Go do it. Do not wait because you think it's not worth the hype. It is so good, and it reads so fast for being such a long book. So that is my PSA for everyone. Go read Addie LaRue. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, the 28th. It might be the 29th. I don't know. It's Wednesday. I am currently in Sacramento, California, and I came in today from Salt Lake City. I didn't update anything. I didn't get a ton of reading done on the plane yesterday, but I did get like halfway through the book I'm reading, Mercury Pictures Presents. It's really good. It's a really, it's an epic story, and I'm loving it. I just wanted to pop on here and show you this incredible little reading nook that this hotel has. How cute is this? I've also been reading Misery. I've read it, but I'm reading it again. And it's got such a nice view of the city. This is my first time in Sacramento. I mean, I don't think I'm really gonna go out and do much. I might go check out this little bookstore because there is a bookstore like 4 minutes away walking, so I thought I would do that. It's very early still. It's like not even 3, so I figured like I should do something with my life instead of just laying around in a hotel all night. So I'm gonna go do that, and maybe I'll come home with a new book.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright.
Hello! So I am back from my little excursion around Sacramento. I went to that bookstore. Oh my gosh. Love, love, love. I went to that bookstore and it was awesome. I did buy some books, because of course I did. But it was so cute. It was just, I felt at home. Like I felt like anyone could walk in the door and feel at home. So that's like what I like in a bookstore. I want to feel like cozy and that I can ask for recommendations, and just, it was great. I loved it. So what I got was Under the Rainbow by Celia Lasky. I read her book called So Happy for You. And I read it in a reading vlog a few weeks back. That's probably more than that now. Well, whatever. If you watched that, you saw. And so this is the same author. This one is about a town in Kansas that is gets labeled as the most homophobic town in America. So for 2 years, an LGBTQ organization sends a task force to live there and I guess try to make them not the most homophobic town in America. And it just sounds so good. I think it's gonna be really good. I loved her writing in the other book that I read from her. So I am really excited to read this, and I was, happy to support a local bookstore. I also got The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. If you haven't read anything by her, she wrote Grown, she wrote White Smoke was her book last year. Monday's Not Coming was another one. This is YA, but I have read 3 of her books, the ones I just mentioned. I think she has more than that, but those are the ones I've read. So this is a retelling of Carrie in a way, but I think it has something to do with, yes. So Maddie, who is Carrie in this book, has always presented as white, but I guess she finds out that she's biracial, and then she lives in a racist town, I think. And yes, and her dad is a fanatical white man. So that's obviously very hard for her to find out. Very... Basically, it's Carrie, but deals with racism. So I'm here for it. It sounds awesome. I love Tiffany Jackson. Her last book was not my favorite. Her last book was White Smoke. I thought it was okay. It was a little strange. The main character in it has a very crazy obsession with bed bugs and like is terrified of them. Additionally, she's like a big stoner. She smokes a lot of pot, and it's almost like it's weird. She's like always jonesing, and I'm like, I don't feel like people get that way. But I don't know. That was really my beef with it, and I didn't really like the ending. But I've loved her other two that I've read, and I feel like, I mean, it's a Carrie retelling. I love Carrie, so hopefully this one's awesome too. I also got a couple stickers and a pin because, like I said, their stuff was just too cute. So I got this little Black Lives Matter sticker, and I got this one that says feminist. Obviously, we gotta have Taylor Swift on there, my girl. I also got like just a tiny little button that says support trans kids. So yeah, I had a good day out. I also went to this little bar slash tap room and had a beer and watched a little baseball. So now I'm back in my room, and I'm gonna sit back in my little window nook and read some more of Misery, and I will probably check in with you tomorrow after I'm home, and also probably I won't check in with you tomorrow. I'll probably check in with you on Friday when I'm actually off. So we'll see you then. Hello, so I am back home now. It is the 30th, and I have almost finished Mercury Pictures Presents. I'm still loving it. I'm about 75% of the way in, and I feel like we have a lot to still cover in this book. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really looking forward to finishing it and seeing like how it all wraps up. But again, I feel like there's quite a lot we need to still learn about before this book can end. So I did finish Misery last night, and it was great always, but definitely grosser than I remembered. Or at least I was shocked by it more than the first time. I'm getting soft in my old age, I suppose. I am starting to read The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. I'm so excited. I did talk about that one when I bought it the other day, but it's skipping to the front of the line. I'm so excited to read it. And tomorrow I'm starting another trip. Tomorrow night I end up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina again. I did enjoy that layover last time because we have an ocean view, and it's nice to just kind of lay. I'm a little bit nervous because I think the hurricane hit there, so we'll kind of see how that works out. But as always, I'm just along for the ride. The night after, I will be in Pittsburgh, and I'm actually really excited about the hotel because it's a very weird thing to feel, but the hotel has such good food in their lobby bar restaurant, and I tell people that and they think I'm crazy, but I'm definitely gonna eat dinner there because I've loved their food in the past. So yeah, that is what I'm up to. I am gonna end this vlog here, but thank you so much for coming along with my chaos and just wherever I am and whatever I end up talking about. I love having people with me, and I love being able to share my travels. So I would love it if you would like and maybe subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. Give it a thumbs up if you so desire, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!